When it comes to first world supermodel hotties and skimpy yet stylish clothing raiding remote jungle locations for precious artifacts, only one name comes to mind: Lara Croft. She also comes to mind if you meditate on the word triangle for too long, but that's for lower poly reasons. While her original adventures are staples of the early PS1 era, and the movies featuring Angelina Jolie are fun classics, Lara found herself rebooted in the big 2013. Gone were the triangles of yesterday, in was high-def rendering for nerds. While I dabbled in her PS1 adventures as a lad, I never made it out of the mansion though, I seem to have avoided any contact with the reboot. I believe it to be well-liked, enough to get 2 sequels, and for Lara to get into Fortnite with her signature Jeep Wrangler. Off the bat, based on the cover, we're headed into a gritty realism. Lara still looks designed with attraction in mind, yes, but now she also looks like she'd stick her fingers in your open wound and twist them around. I'm not complaining, anyone running around temples should be down to do a little torture. Loading up, the game flashes at me in a glitchy way, and I'm shown a mountain with a map faintly overlaid. The menu is an overlay placed into a 3D scene of a stormy shipwreck, and everything moves way too much for my liking. There's a note about the Square Enix membership services being disabled, but this means nothing to me. The game also offers matchmaking-based multiplayer, which I will not be exploring in this playthrough. You pick a survivor, a loadout, and it looks involved for a game I assumed was exclusively single-player. The extra section offers bonus content, and it should be noted I'm actually playing the definitive edition that released in 2014, so this should have any DLC included. There's concept art, an art book, character models, all things I enjoy looking at. Most of it is locked for the moment, which I think is the right move. There's also a comic book if you're into that. I'm not. The settings are standard except for voice control. It's on by default and I leave it on for the moment, no idea what it really could be for. Like the Square Enix option, the help option doesn't seem to work at all, not sure what help it provided. I drop in, choosing normal difficulty. The cutscene opens with Lara Croft having a phone, which feels kind of gross to me.
I'd finally set out to make my mark, to find adventure. But instead, adventure found me.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
Life happens quickly, her ship facing collision, followed by flooding.
When life flashes before us, we find something that keeps us going. Something that pushes us.
As she narrates about the need to survive, she leaps across the ship, only to slip out of hand, falling into the ocean. After some light drowning, Lara awakes on shore. A few other survivors try to help one another as she looks around in confusion, moments before being knocked over the head. Lara again awakens, this time in some freaky ritual den, hogtied and hanging from the ceiling. She calls for her friends, and while she's panicked, she's way more chill than I would be. We swing back and forth, pushing a corpse cocoon into some candles to set it ablaze. It disintegrates almost instantly, spreading the fire. Taking advantage, we set ourselves ablaze, only to fall into a pit pierced by a well-placed spike. Our first QuickTime event is pulling it out, and again, not the right level of panic for me. It should be noted I had turned on the subtitles before starting the game, and I am now turning them off as they are very, very ugly. Clearly this was made before the subtitles on era.
Oh God. No.
Moving forward, there are signs of ritualistic sacrifice, if it wasn't obvious before. Lara gets a torch, the game of Prometheus teaching the power of fire. Fire can burn objects and barricades flagged with white. The burn-off is comically quick, things just meeting ash in mere moments. Another area of the cave expands this concept to make sure the player firmly grasps it. We're also introduced to survival sense, which I know from my Lord of the Rings Gollum play as Gollum sense. It turns the world black and white, highlighting interactable objects and enemies. Crawling through a small hole, a scavenger with ripped abs grabs at Lara. She kicks him off in a QuickTime event.
That was close. Oh shit, that was close.
We reach our first puzzle, and it makes as much sense as it doesn't. We have to light our torch, set fire to 2 stakes, set floating debris on fire, go up the platform to jump on a counterweight, which will launch the flaming garbage into a steel trap, and then finally push the trap, dispersing the hot trash towards the flammable wall. I don't know why Lara just didn't climb over the steel trap and throw the torch at the wall. Seems a lot easier.
Gotta get out of here.
Regardless, we're then met with a running section. I die at the first jump, unsure how much I really control here. I get my grip on the second go, and Lara makes superhuman leaps across deadly gaps. There's a brief crawling section, and our overly touchy friend appears, grabbing for his waifu. It's the same QuickTime moment from before, but with an additional key press I wasn't expecting, so I eat it, Lara squished. Second go, we kick Loverboy in the face, leaving him to ferment into oil. After a bit more running and some boulder dodging QuickTimes, we make it out of the cave, sunlight streaming onto Lara's traumatized face. I'll note here, I was expecting this game to be a Skyrim stealth archer type beat. So far, it's looking closer to Still Wakes the Deep. Up on Poppy Hill, there's a view of a ship graveyard, and it's only a moment before Lara notices the lifeboats on shore.
The lifeboat.
Heading off in search of survivors, she crosses a tree trunk past a waterfall.
Okay, take it slow.
I'm quick to congratulate her on being pretty careful during this. She goes slow and she stays low. That is, until her next move, climbing up a World War II Japanese bomber. This is absolute psycho behavior. She didn't even try to find another way around. Clearing all that, we find Sam's backpack.
Sam!
With no answer to our call, we loot it and continue on.
Sam? Roth? Can anyone hear me?
The yielded radio gets no response as Lara sits around an abandoned fire pit. Fire started, we peep the camcorder, watching a video of Lara's expedition crew. The dialogue from Sam, Lara's friend, is cringe.
She's on the hunt for the lost kingdom of Yamatai, home to the fabulous Himiko, mythical Sun Queen, and ancestor of yours truly.
Sam, this is serious.
Oh, sweetie, I know. I'm just trying to lighten the mood here. Everyone's so on edge.
We watch as Lara explains her hunch about the location of Yamatai, gleamed to be a mythical location. She believes it to be inside of the Dragon's Triangle, a dangerous Bermuda Triangle on steroids. This causes argument from James Whitman, an archaeologist on the crew, thinking it a waste of their dwindling funding.
No one believes Yamatai is that far east. The books simply don't support it.
Well, whoever wrote those books never found Yamatai.
I've talked to Roth about this. There's no point in following in other people's footsteps, Dr. Whitman.
I refuse to bet my reputation on your hunch. I'm the lead archaeologist here.
Look, this is the satellite imagery from inside the Dragon's Triangle.
That doesn't look good.
If it's wet, I can sail on it.
Oh, don't tell me you're seriously
Enough! Reyes is right. We don't have the funds to piss about. It's now or never. Lara's offering fresh ideas and a plan. I'm the captain here. It's my decision. We're going into the Dragon's Triangle.
Why am I even here?
Eventually, the captain chooses to go to the Dragon's Triangle, and the memory ends. Setting out for food, we find a dead guy hanging from a tree. Looting seems to be the move on this island, so we jack his bow, gaining our first weapon. Tracking down a deer to avoid starvation, we make our first kill, and Lara feels pretty bad about it.
Sorry.
I go on to kill 5 more deer for fun. Back at our little camp, we're introduced to the skill section screen, having gotten our first skill point. Most of the available skills are related to finding extra stuff, so I go with arrow retrieval, letting me get my arrows back post-kill. I dumped a lot of arrows into those deer, so this seems like the move. New skill in hand, Roth, a father figure to Lara, makes an SOS over the radio. Lara answers the call.
Easy, easy. Are you okay? What happened?
I remember the beach. Then it went black and I woke up in a cave. There was this crazy man Roth and a dead body.
He relays he sent an SOS from the ship and tells her she needs to meet him at his location.
Please come and get me.
I have to stay here. You can do this, Lara.
Scared but wanting to survive, Lara agrees. Heading out, strange singing fills the air.
Music.
It leads to an old hut near the dead guy we looted the bow from. The door is open now, so we go in, a bad move. There's an open hatch in the middle of the room, Lara saying,
This could be a way through.
as she does, the door slams behind us.
Damn it.
This is easily the stupidest thing I've ever seen. No one with more than one brain cell would have went in there, much less thought of it as a way forward. Mind-boggled, we take the murder ladder down to the murder pit, look at the murder drawings on the wall, and climb through the murder tunnel. There's graffiti here that says "No one leaves," but it's very obviously a font, and the letter perspective isn't affected by the fact that it's on corrugated tin. This bothers me more than it ought to. Setting a fire, we gaze upon another altar. Nearby is a hunk of meat from which we cop the pry axe. It's literally a dagger blade stuck to a branch. Using this, we can open stuck doors by button mashing. Somehow the murder pit was the way forward. Score 1, Lara, I guess. We come out by Sam's camp. The reunion is awkward.
Lara, you made it.
Sam. Thank goodness.
Surprise.
She's with a new guy, Matthias, who's a rando with bad aura.
My manners. I'm sorry, I'm Matthias. A teacher by trade. Not really cut out for island life, I'm afraid.
As they sit around the fire waiting, Sam tells the legend of Queen Himiko, a historical ruler of Japan alleged to have storm powers.
A couple thousand years ago, Queen Himiko pretty much ran things in Japan.
She loves telling this story.
The mountains, to the sea, and beyond.
But what happened to her?
Lara nods off like a good friend,
Sam? Matthias?
awakening alone.
Sam! Sam!
She sets out to find Sam, but steps into a trap.
No! Sam!
We're forced to shoot at wolves as they come at us. This game is generous with the timing here, which is great because I'm not the quickest draw in the West. Post-Wolf, we're reunited with everybody, except for Sam, Roth, and I guess Matthias, if you want to include him as a part of the gang. Vote now. The group splits up to look for the others, with Whitman offering to go with Lara in search of Roth.
Okay, let's split up.
It's very Fred and Daphne if Fred was like 20 years older and washed up.
I'll go with her.
No, let me.
Whitman gets a gun, which is good tiding, and the two are off. Lara can barely move, needing to hang on to him, so why she would be searching for anybody in this state is completely beyond me.
You sit here. I'll, I'll check up ahead.
Okay.
At the camp, though, Lara can suddenly walk fine, so I guess I no longer have an issue. There's a book about Himiko lying around, but it's the same lore already dropped, so it's useless if you've been paying attention to the dialogue. The passage is voice acted, though, which is nice.
Ever since I told Lara the story of Himiko years ago, she's been hunting for its location. I never really gave it much thought. That any of this could actually be real history.
Whitman's gone ahead, but calls for us to join him.
I don't like the sound of that.
We get insta-jumped by wolves the moment we leave camp. They chase me through the section, my poor aim only getting one, the other eating me. Second go, I blast them off the bat.
Could have warned me about the wolves, Doctor.
At the end of the path, Whitman's found a door he needs open.
I've seen these before. Oh? They must be ritualistic.
This female image is particularly interesting.
Looks like it was made quite recently.
Yes, by those islanders, no doubt. Judging by the wrecks out there, they were once like us. Survivors. Remarkable.
Yes, well, let's hope we don't become murderers, too.
The pry axe isn't cutting it, so we run around looking for salvage. Salvage is the main currency of the game, used to upgrade tools and weapons. It can be gained from crates found around the map or from looting. Along the way, I find a relic, collectibles with a sprinkle of lore.
There are traces of white paint on the inside. Whoever used this mask was of noble birth.
They're a neat concept. Tomb raiding does invoke artifacts. I stumble into the tomb of the lost adventurer, not realizing it wasn't part of the mission until I was in the area. Already here, I decide to give this optional tomb a go. It's a fire puzzle revolving around lowering an old plane, the goal being to climb up the plane to the top of the temple. It takes me a bit. The Gollum sense isn't as strong in this game as it was in, Gollum, but I work it out. At the top of the temple, we open an old treasure chest to get our loot. It just seems to be a skill point, which is very disappointing. I zipline down and head back to the main quest. I am instantly jumped by wolves. Scavenge collected, I upgrade my pry axe as well as my bow. I can also now change Lara's outfit at the campfire. I can't see what I'm selecting though, only reading the descriptions of the outfits, so I don't bother. Not having a visual for an exclusively visual change is a terrible UI design. Back with Whitman, the upgraded pry axe is up to snuff, door opening. That was a lot of work just to crank that, soldier boy. Though, the additional tomb did influence the time spent in the area.
That female figure on the gate. Given the age of the symbols, it could be the Sun Queen.
Himiko. Are you sure you're not channeling Sam, Dr. Whitman?
Well, there's no doubt. Himiko had power. Some say shamanistic, elemental.
A woman wields that much power, and sooner or later it gets called witchcraft.
We shouldn't discount anything.
Forward, we find a statue of Himiko with evidence of worship. Whitman excitedly accepts that Lara is correct about this being the mystical land of Yamatai.
This island, it must have once been part of Yamatai. You were right, Lara.
The Lost Kingdom.
Focused on the discovery, the pair are taken off guard by islanders. Whitman surrenders immediately, wanting to meet with their leader. Lara is more rational than ever, pleading with Whitman to not lower his gun as she keeps her bow drawn. Betrayed, she's taken from behind and carried away. Bound, Lara finds herself hassled by the Russian-speaking leader of the group, Vladimir. He leaves her, the villagers chasing after others. Though who exactly these others are, I couldn't say. Our crew is presented as about 6 people, but it's totally possible a large ship like that had many other people aboard, just one's less important and thus unobserved. Unsupervised, we move into a stealth section, focused on evading flashlight-wielding townies by hiding behind stone walls. There's shooting going on around us as people are constantly hunted and killed, but again, who these people are, I couldn't say. Everything goes well enough, Lara ducking into a more obscure spot. Vladimir reappears, spotting her. There's a quick time event to try and escape this. The struggle continues, though instead of getting dome, he gets domed. Lara shooting him right in the head. I didn't expect this, and it's so cool it happened. Lara begins hunting the most dangerous animal, man. Blood fresh on our hands, we drop some lead into more goons before running into a house, one that's promptly set ablaze. After crawling out the back, we ambush a camp of 3 with our bow. Stealth archery has arrived. Moving up a ladder, Roth radios in to encourage us to make our way to him.
Yes.
I can see smoke coming from the old ruins. Are you okay?
Oh God, Roth, I'm in trouble. They're killing people.
What? Who?
Men. I don't know why. I had to kill some of them. I had no choice.
That can't have been easy.
He's been pretty forceful about us coming to him, so he must be unable to walk or it's a trap. Either way, we continue on, killing as we please. Onward, I hit another campfire, gaining the ability to fast travel. We can travel between campfires, but only while at campfires, and obviously only to campfires we've unlocked. Campfires. There's a section where I get ganged up on while the building burns. Cornered, I just start hammering arrows, unsure how to switch to my gun. I finish the job as the blaze sits on my heels, getting out just in time. The road ends in a cliff, forcing Lara to inch up its crack. She slips a few times, and I keep expecting this to be interactive, fingers hovering over the usual QuickTime buttons, but it never comes. At the top of the cliff, we reunite with Roth. The local wolves have been using this man as a chew toy, and if he wasn't injured before, he sure is now.
Thank God you're alive.
Looks worse than it is.
Have you heard from any of the others?
Nothing. The wolves took my food pack. The transmitter from the lifeboat's in it. If we don't get that back, we're not getting off this bloody island.
But you need bandages, morphine, antiseptic.
They're also in the pack.
Shit.
Exactly.
No! Oh, don't do this to me, you northern bastard.
He passes out, and Lara drags him to the campfire, howls echoing about. Lara figures the wolves must have robbed him of his medical supplies, so we have to go get it. Wolves these days, man. There's a few buildings around, but they're empty. I light a statue's fire and it nets me some XP, but nothing to go out of your way for. This area is really just a platforming section towards the wolf cave higher up on the mountain. Nothing crazy, mostly jumping around that one building. I take the wolf cave slow, ready for the ambush. One runs by briefly before disappearing into a hole in the wall. I move through steady, but no wolves. I grab the pack, which is neatly waiting for me. Leaving, I finally get jumped by a wolf, killing it in a quick time event. Crazy to have a whole wolf cave with a singular wolf, but whatever.
Oh, that was close.
I leave the cave. Pack retrieved, we revive Roth.
Roth.
Hey, you got it. Nice work.
So I assume the plan is to take that up to the radio tower.
Well, it should give us the best shot of broadcasting a strong signal in every direction.
The two have a talk about a communication relay, and he gasses up Lara so she'll go and fix it. At this point, Lara is a strange mixture of confident and unconfident, maybe due to all the head trauma. Yeah, she's killed and will kill again, but gosh, she doesn't know if she can survive. It's like watching a chef be afraid of an air fryer. Roth gives her his climbing equipment, and it feels like a metaphorical passing of a torch. Roth may be her father figure, but she will now stand on her own legs. Off, we hit the nearby climbable wall sections, which look a lot like the ones in Gollum, and I didn't really think I would be making that many comparisons to that game. I guess the devs of that game really liked Tomb Raider. We climb up the mountain, getting used to the method of movement. At a midway section, we continue our murdering, dispatching 3 enemies, and a chicken. You never know who the chicken might be aligned with. I find a historical book, light a shrine, and continue the climb. What a time. After crossing a failing bridge, Lara gets a radio call from someone asking about what she's up to. I can't really keep track of who's in Lara's crew aside from Whitmer and Roth and Sam, but there are like 4 other people.
Lara, are you there?
Reyes, did you find Sam?
We're still on her trail.
I'm going to try and send an SOS from an old radio tower up here. Any tips?
Hey, Lara. You're gonna need to find the communications console. It'll look like a bunch of old switchboards.
Okay, I'll let you know when I find it.
Roth, I think, it's hard to tell without the subtitles, cuts in and tells Lara to look for old switchboards now that she's arrived at the communication relay. We kill again, this time in self-defense. Some of these dudes are total bullet sponges. Like, there's no way I shot you 5 times and you're still up. It's an issue with more realism-focused games. It breaks immersion. Lara hits a campfire, the relay sitting on the skyline, and it's home movie time again. It's focused on the crew I just mentioned I couldn't remember, which is funny. It's just slice of life stuff, which I don't really care about. Sam and Roth are warm to Lara, and Whitman has evil nerd aura, making them stand out. The rest of the crew are lukewarm, making them unmemorable for the moment. This is no doubt intended to humanize them, attempting to remove their literally who status, but it falls flat, feeling more like filler. There's a compound of sorts ahead, and we snipe the men outside with no issue before moving in. Inside is mostly just following a path, clearing enemies as you go, nothing challenging. There's a book that talks about Matthias, our lovable rando from earlier, being the cult leader of the island, and I'm not surprised at all. Matthias is a very media cult leader name.
For better or worse, I now follow Father Matthias. If I'm gonna be stuck on his island, at least I have the best possible job. He calls me his first salary. Matthias might be insane, but he's smart and dangerous. He knows things about this island. I believe is our only chance of ever getting out of here.
There's a jump scare enemy near the end, and I surprise myself by instantly headshotting him. I'm not the best shot, and in this game I'm way better with the bow than the pistol, so nailing this felt great. Through the opening our conquest crawled out of, we find a puzzle of sorts. We climb into a section encased with bulletproof glass separating 2 larger rooms, and open a gas valve. This draws the attention of some dude who tries to break in, no doubt a hater. We climb back out to the room we started in and throw a lantern in. This results in an explosion, busting open the walls between the 2 rooms and pinning our hater against the wall. Ever the opportunist, Lara takes his rifle. He tries to surrender, but I blast his head off. Our revenge train has no brakes, no survivors. Just artifacts and ammo, baby. Rifle in hand, we're flashbanged to the next room, enemies charging us. This is the most fun the game has been, and I'm gleeful as I dispatch the horde. Again, some enemies are sponges, taking more than their fair share of bullets, but it's a needed change of pace. If only I could emote on them. Probing the area post-victory, I find some graffiti saying the storm is coming. Fortnite confirmed. 4 years too late, or 8 years too early if you played this game at launch. In the main control room, we call the crew, the console not in functioning order.
Alex, are you there?
Yeah.
Alex, one of our literally who crew, jokes about going to Radio Shack for parts, which is crazy dated.
Well, unless you see a Radio Shack around, you're gonna have to patch it manually through the maintenance panel.
Okay, that sounds simple enough.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to find it first.
Our only option, due to the lack of Radio Shack, is to climb up and broadcast directly from the tower. Getting out of the room, we go through a heated pipe area, and it's sweaty and I think supposed to be kinda sexy, but it just makes me wonder how all the infrastructure is still running. Based on the graffiti, no one can leave the island, so how far can salvage really get these people? On the bridge outside, I shoot some birds like a psychopath. Karma kicks me right back in the nuts, though, as we get attacked, Lara kicking the assailant down to his doom. The rest of the section is working through a mob of enemies, and it feels less balanced than the previous section, being a little much. The big boss battle is a face-off against the guy with the shield, and this takes me forever. I try baiting him into attacking me so I can shoot him, but this costs almost all of my ammo, as I never seem to get it together in time before he puts the shield back up. My victory over him is sweet but short, a fire-starting enemy bursting out of the door, and this wastes the rest of my ammo, leaving me to finish him off with a bow. At the radio tower, the long climbing sequence begins.
Okay, here goes.
This shows off the scenery, but mostly Lara's ass. At the top, she accesses the panel to boost the radio signal.
Alex?
Lara!
I'm at the panel.
Okay. The tower should boost the signal from the transmitter.
After a fun bit tuning the radio, Lara makes an SOS call.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Lara Croft of the Endurance. We are stranded on an island in the Dragon's Triangle. We need help and medical supplies. Please respond. Come on.
A plane responds.
This is aircraft Nautilus 177 Alpha. Searching for you since the distress call from your vessel. Almost given up hope.
So had we.
Got your approximate position. We could sure use a visual.
I'll figure something out.
We'll be heading your way soon. Out.
Lara Croft, you are my hero! Hey, Reyes actually just cracked a smile.
Right. Need a signal.
Delighted, Lara sets off to make the visual requested, so the plane can locate the crew. Lara opts to set a fire. She swiftly finds a fuel tank, along with a new fire starter, and sets ablaze. The plane spots the fire, closing in on the rescue, though it's seconds before it's struck down out of the sky in a seeming act of God.
Oh shit, here we go again.
As the plane crashes towards her, Lara slides down the mountain, rolling this way and that. She hangs off a cliff before pulling herself up and jumping out of the way. This segment ends with her spotting the ejected pilot parachuting down. Finding him is our next objective.
I have to get to him.
We sprint through the cliffside houses as they fall, set on reaching the pilot before the enemy forces can. It's a fun segment, but after all this, realistically, Lara Croft would be dead in a ditch somewhere. At the end, we find our pilot, and he's executed.
Lara, you there?
In revenge, we kill his attackers. The crew radios in, and Lara can't explain how the plane crashed, mystified over the sudden storm that struck it down. Close to their location, she goes to meet up with the crew. Not a moment later, we're ambushed, stepping into a trap. Upside-down combat is novel, if not short-lived. This section introduces rope arrows, and it's a stupid thing to introduce in combat. You shoot the arrow tied to a rope, letting you pull things. While you can pull on a building here a bit, knocking a guy off, it doesn't help enough with the combat for this to be its introduction. It's very obviously more aligned with platforming. The enemies seem to have a machine gun, and I died twice here before clearing them out. Crossing the river using the rope arrow to pull a crate, I come across another river where I use a rope arrow to climb, well, the rope. This makes more sense. Though further up, there's a door you're intended to rope pull to destroy, which seems far-fetched. If that door falls to pieces over a rope pull, she probably could have just kicked it in. Soon we're back with Roth. The second pilot from the crash radios in, landed safely on the island. While we can receive his signal, our signal won't reach him, leaving us unable to warn or guide him. We aim to go for his smoke signal, but Roth tries to persuade us otherwise, preaching that we can't save everyone. Lara ignores him, intending to try and save everyone.
I would win.
The way over is mostly rope arrows mixed with a bit of murder. At one point, we interrupt a poor fella trying to take a leak.
Come on, we gotta get back. Shut up and let me finish.
Alas, he meets his maker, Wang out. There's a lot of rope climbing between small islands, which I find annoying. I get it, we just got rope arrows. We love rope arrows. Rope arrows! The final rope begins to break, which is obvious given there's a climbable section under the cliff we're headed towards. As expected, Lara falls, and we use the climbing pickaxe to avoid doom. We find the source of the flare, but not the pilot, forcing us further into the jungle. Ahead of us is a great temple in ruins, a giant statue of Himiko looming. The pilot bleeds out to death on the temple steps, scaring Lara. Explosives rain down from above, destroying the bridge and knocking her to the ground. Matthias returns, decked out in full cult fashion. 5 stars.
But you're just as naive and predictable. Kill her!
He wants our head, but as we go unconscious, we see flashes of cultists fighting with samurai. Lara awakens in the corpse room, a staple of any temple. Mirroring the opening, we swing to freedom. Just as we exit, a ghoulish samurai with a big club skulks by, looking straight out of Elden Ring. No doubt meant to flee, we slide down to the skeleton storm room. A lot of weird themed rooms in this place. Through the cadaver cave, Lara does what she does best, robbing the dead. Taking a shotgun, we can now break barriers and faces. Through a narrow entry, we arrive in Himiko's tomb. This confirms once and for all that this island is Yamatai, the mythical island that Lara thought it was.
Himiko, the first Sun Queen. This is Yamatai.
She pops open the coffin, appraising the dead queen for herself. The coffin looks weirdly small, not sure what that's about.
And you're really here. And really, really dead.
Lara goes around the room, looking at the paintings.
This looks like some kind of fire ritual. A sacrificial ritual. Horrible. But why were the women burnt like that? A journey. A pilgrimage to... Is that this monastery? Pouring water. But why? And there you are, Queen. Wait. It's not pouring water, it's transferring power. This is an ascension ritual. It's how you chose your successor.
The cultists are soon on us, and the newly pilfered shotgun makes combat a lot more fun, though it feels a bit cheap when enemies survive a shotgun blast to the head. I die the first time, fumbling the fight by hitting the menu button mid-combat with low health, throwing off my rhythm. Right after leaving the tomb, we're clinging to a wall against a raging storm.
Can't get this thing open.
In the main room, we clear out the enemies and begin the bell puzzle. This took me a lot longer than I'd like to admit, because I opened both windows immediately. The gist is, we open one window so the wind will push the clapper into the bell structure on one side, damaging it. We then do the same for the opposite side. Cultists appear after doing so, and we shoot them, or we try to. We then open both windows, hitting the clapper into the bell. The bell crashes through a metal gate, creating our exit. Though, of course, it doesn't go to plan. Lara follows. As cultist enemies approach, a samurai appears. Lara flees, running through a collapsing hall. This part moves fast, but just jumping over and over gets us through most of it. The result is a scene of our beaten heroine lying in a cave.
Hello? Hello?
Sam!
Hello?
Sam! It's Lara!
Sam comes through on the radio and Lara is relieved. That is, until she relays she's been kidnapped, having stolen the radio from a guard.
I've been kidnapped.
What? Where are you?
I don't know. Some old Japanese palace. They keep talking about a fire ritual.
I have questions about this, like how she would know what channel Lara is even on, but whatever.
Sam? Sam! A fire ritual. Like the mural in Himiko's tomb.
Needing to save Sam, we head to the cult's hideout, shotgunning the lads on the way. Sam radios again, crying over her fate with the fire ritual.
Are you there?
I'm here, Sam. Are you okay?
What do they want with me, Lara? A fire ritual? This is so fucked up.
Listen, I'm coming to get you. I'm going to get you out of there.
Please, please help me, Lara.
She gets found by guards mid-transmission. Lara joins Sam in screaming over the radio.
Oh no! Sam? No! Sam! Help me! Stay away from her, you bastard! Stay away! No!
The transmission isn't cut out when Lara responds, though, so you can hear both of them at once, which to my knowledge isn't how radios work. Walkie-talkies are half duplex, so they only transmit or receive, not both. It's small, but it bothered me. After getting into a gunfight, we're faced with a roaring river. Lara opts to just cross it by swimming, which is the lowest IQ play Lara has made so far. For a girl obsessed with rope arrows, she wasn't smart enough to use them here. Swept downstream, we dodge obstacles. It's messy and a bit hard to decipher where she needs to be to avoid doom. I get skewered a few times. Eventually, we make it to the end, slamming into an old plane. The glass of the cockpit cracks below Lara as she reaches for a parachute. Slapping that bad boy on, she falls, avoiding death. The quick-time actions are as shaky as everything else is, which makes it hard to see the button letter, leaving me to rely on color. Deployed, Lara glides through the trees, directed by me. This means she hits one. At the end of the sequence, she cuts herself loose, slamming on tree branches and then eating dirt. She's pretty fine, all things considered, until she trips on a root and then suddenly everything big hurts. Lara Croft should be a vegetable. Point blank, at the very least, a vegetable, if not just dead. Immune to real consequence, we find ourselves at the shanty town below the big palace, looking for first aid. After crawling through dead people's soup, we have a shootout trying to get to an old helicopter for medical supplies. Lara presents as much more injured here, but realistically, this is how she would have been like 15 minutes into the game, not this far in. At the helicopter, we find nothing but a lighter. Playing amateur doctor, she uses the lighter with her arrows to sear her wound shut. Because Lara is completely brain dead due to all of her concussions, she makes a radio transmission while standing slack-jawed, out in the open, deep in enemy territory.
Lara, are you okay?
I'm fine.
You don't sound fine to me.
I'm fine, Roth.
Where are you, girl?
I'm in some kind of shanty town near the fortified palace.
I'm still coming down the hill. How did you get there so fast?
Long story.
I can see the town from here. Are you near that large gate?
I'm heading towards it.
It's the outsider.
This leads to an overwhelmingly bullshit section where every human being ever birthed rains down upon her, and I wish she had died in the river. The ending section involves burning a bar on a grate and then cranking it open. Fine. But every time I so much as touch the crank, fire gets lobbed at me. And because the camera turns every time the action starts, I can't see where it's coming from. I died here so many times I became convinced there was no one throwing it, and it just spawned. And it is tied to activating the crank. If you mash it, fire will lob at you over and over. This is an extremely cheap design. One run, I took out every enemy that came at me, over and over, even then, still murdered at the crank. This game has felt long for a while now, and this difficult spike out of nowhere made it feel even longer. Up until the big temple, this game felt like a very long tutorial, but at least I could appreciate it as a more cinematic experience. Now with this dumped on me, I feel resentful. The scavenge system for upgrades is fine, but the cost per upgrade is too high for how much you collect. The enemies absorb hits unrealistically. I'm sorry, if I shotgun your neck and your shoulder, you're not getting up. 50 years later, I get this done. I just have to deal with new enemies spawning after touching the wheel, even though I just cleaned out those areas a second ago. The next section is also terrible, though less so. After a brief run through more shanty, Lara spots a crew member and tries to go to him. We head up a ladder, but it's blown out from under us. Trapped, enemies continuously lob explosives at us. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going, and the mission just says infiltrate the palace, which isn't helpful. After dying a few times trying to cross the gap or go anywhere, I give in and I look it up online. I'm just supposed to kill everyone. I don't like this game. After killing everyone, the other old guy on the crew, Grim, wants us to come up to him, but the ladder is exploded, so we can't. He tells us to go all the way around, even though Lara could shoot a rope arrow up, and he could just untie the rope from the arrow and tie it around the rest of the ladder. They could do this just fine. She can do anything, apparently. We begin our run around town to link up with the old guy. I'll note here, I hate scrap aesthetic. It's one of my least favorites, so the gameplay BS aside, this is still my least favorite section. We hit the gondola, riding the slow lift over. While I wait for it to move, Lara gets shot by enemies I can't find, because why not? As we near our destination, we see Grim get held hostage, kind of deserved for not watching his surroundings. We're met with another kill everyone section, and I'm starting to doubt much of the island's population is left. I don't think I've seen any women here either, in retrospect.
Drop your weapons, or we kill your friend! Don't fucking do it!
Okay!
That's nothing, pal. I grew up in Glasgow. Now kick them off the edge!
Post-slaughter, Grim sacrifices himself for Lara. I feel nothing. The one camcorder attempt to humanize the crew didn't work, leaving me unimmersed. Leaving the Fallen, we hit the ropes. Our enemies play cut the rope, though we survive, of course. As they take aim, they're shot off by Roth.
Shit.
I've got you covered, girl. You're clear to climb up.
Thank God.
We tell him that Grim is passed, and he agrees to cover us with his sniper rifle until we get to the palace wall. This is the first time I can think of somebody else actually helping Lara, which is impressive considering how deep we are into the game.
Rescue chopper N888RC responding to SOS.
On the radio, another rescue helicopter calls in. Good news. Lara tells Roth she intends to get Sam first, feeling responsible for her friend. Crossing the bridge to the palace, Roth picks off enemies as we sneak through below. While it doesn't last long, it's nice to see some cooperative.
Stop! Don't move! They'll see you! Wait! Go now! Wait! Wait! Lara, I think you're clear.
That makes us even.
Yeah. Lara, look out!
Break this girl's neck! Surrender!
Plan gone to hell, Lara starts running as structures fall below her feet, the usual. This ends with a jump to a short climb, leading to a cave.
I'm heading in.
Are you sure about this, Lara?
I'll get them. I'll come back.
Luckily for Lara, this cave leads exactly where she wants to go. We're met with a flooded passage reminiscent of the opening. A grand ritual hall awaits.
We were nothing. But
Lara sneaks over, peeping our dear cult leader as he prepares to sacrifice Sam.
this girl, she carries the blood of this land. She could be the key. The ritual of flames will show us the truth. Himiko, you are the first and the last. Speak to us now.
Lara shoots his flame last second, but promptly gets the shit kicked out of her by Vladimir's brothers, the first man she killed.
Brother! Now I'm gonna kill you!
Every creature in nature will turn and fight when its very survival is at stake. So don't think I don't understand you, girl. I've just been doing this a lot longer.
Stripped of her weapons, she watches as Sam is set on fire, her intrusion helping no one. The storm kicks up, killing off the flames. This means Sam has passed the ascension test and is now set to be the next queen. Goons haul Lara off, but don't worry, she manages to get her bow back, jumping into more human soup. Back to our bow-only roots, we use the bow to explode some natural gas. Further on are some enemies, and it's a fine amount. Not boring, but not rage-inducing. There's more natural gas puzzles. We jump from cliff to cliff over enemies before hitting a climbable section. It's weird they would take her weapons, but not her climbing pick or her lighter. We kill a group of cultists mid-warship, and I get an achievement for making an enemy drop an explosive that would go on to kill 2 people. Kind of convoluted. After using a big lantern as a battering ram via natural gas explosion, we run through a crumbling hall with more explosions. This game is really heavy on the explosions now, and it's completely lost its effect. Lara being able to hear anything at all after this would be a complete miracle. After falling through the floor onto a brief sliding section, we run through natural gas. This looks straight out of the perfume department from SpongeBob. Popping up, we're near enemies. None of them seem concerned about the massive explosion happening under them, instead focused on an old airplane hanging from the ceiling containing the rest of our crew. Glad to know they've been doing nothing while we've been out working. We take the enemies out, set on freeing our literally Who crew.
That was badass, Lara. How the hell did you get in here?
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
Shit.
Using the classic natural gas, we managed to untether the airplane prison. The floor turns to lava, however, leaving us all dangling. At first, I was confused on not being able to jump up, so I let go by accident. R.I.P. Lara. Sorry you had to die like Gollum twin. Getting good, Lara navigates around the plane. Jumping to a near cliff, we again gas our way to success, and it's gotten so old so fast. Plane prison slammed to the other side, the literally Who crew makes it to safety. We continue on to find Sam. There's another running through explosives section, the environment changing from cave to palace as we go. The palace is completely aflame, and it looks very good visually. It feels dramatic, it feels climatic. We run along roofs, climb walls, hop between windows as people die around us. It's exciting to slip through the chaos, our presence lost in the mayhem. Eventually, we find Matthias' schizo wall, and it's intriguing enough that Lara stops to try and decipher it.
No one leaves. That's what I heard in Japanese before the plane crashed. The ritual from Himiko's tomb. Why is Matthias so interested in it?
She takes a piece of it with her before continuing, but I wish they would let us explore this a bit more. Deep in the palace, we find Whitman. He's been hanging out free as a bird, while everybody else has been trapped. You know what Lara does to birds.
Did you know the others were captured?
Yes. Sam's in there, but I couldn't free her without a weapon. These Solari are an anthropological marvel, Lara.
They're insane murderers, Dr. Whitman. We need to get our people out of here.
He talks about important historical finds, but Lara blows him off, heading in for Sam. We find her in a chamber with Matthias. They have a generic,
I know you think I'm something special, but I'm not. I don't want to be chosen.
dialogue. He leaves her with Dimitri, the man who has all our stuff. We kill him, looting back what is ours. Lara and Sam reunite.
It's okay.
It's fine, but the urgency of the burning building cuts through the emotion. The girls try to flee, but see Whitman captured by Matthias.
Run, Lara, run!
Get down!
Run!
Back into the throne room!
They book it, but get separated, Sam running ahead.
Keep going, Sam! I'll find another way out!
There!
Locked in the chamber, we not only survive, but thrive, to the point where I'm hunting guys down just to get the area over with. After a wave, we're able to flee. The path forward is a winding path full of enemies, so I just start blasting as I run, not bothering to take them on for real. This leads into a cutscene where a man shoots a machine gun at us.
Go! All of you! Find the chosen one! This one is mine!
He's another one of the Russians, along with the deceased Vladimir and Dmitri. We're not intended to fight back, just platform towards him, which takes me a second to figure out. I ride the rope over to kick him, and Lara uses the machine gun instead of just her pistol. Super stupid.
No hiding now. I'm gonna fucking kill you, child! Oh shit!
Knocked down, she finds a grenade launcher, and I shoot. I think I hit too low, because while his death cutscene plays, I get a black screen after for a solid 15 seconds, followed by being reloaded into the last bit of the fight. So I must have killed us both. Fight done right, Lara busts open a door with her new toy. It feels late in the game to get something like this, or rather, I think it's late in the game. The tone feels like it's going to be wrapping up in the next 15 minutes, but I run through the enemies, really doing whatever at this point. At the gate out of the palace, I meet up with Sam.
Lara! Lara, climb over! Come on!
Head for Roth. I'll follow. And Sam, don't get on the helicopter. Just trust me.
After telling her to go on forward, we begin the climb around. Matthias spots us as we hit the bridge.
Destroy the bridges!
But we'll kill our own people.
Any other non-believers?
A long platforming sequence begins, starting with running on the collapsing structure.
Damn it, bitch! I said let go!
We're taking fire. Everybody take to higher ground.
Wait! The storms! It's too dangerous! Roth!
We move through the buildings, doing all sorts of unrealistic stunts. At the end, Lara hits the helicopter. She tries to convince the pilot to land, afraid of the storm.
We have to land!
No way! Not in this weather!
When he can't be convinced, she holds him at gunpoint. Lara isn't fast enough to avoid fate, though, and the plane is hit.
Okay, coming. Video speichern.
In the debris, Roth revives Lara.
Come on! Ah!
The cultists soon set upon them, though. Roth swiftly sacrifices himself for Lara. Still reeling, the Literally Who crew show up. Sam tries to comfort Lara, and the other woman, Reyes, snaps at Lara.
Is she okay? Because it's all about Lara, isn't it? Have you forgotten that she's the reason we're here?
That's not fair, Reyes.
You're right. I shouldn't have said that.
It was hinted at before that she had a thing with Roth or something, so she's very clearly agitated her husbando died, but it's very off-putting, especially when Roth very openly saw Lara as his own daughter. The men do nothing. It's clear this game isn't over, and I'm a little vexed. The game is as decent as it is grating. I'm guessing we're like 75% done now.
That old PT boat on the beach. I should be able to fix it up.
It's worth a shot.
It doesn't matter. We're not getting off this island.
Come on, Lara. Don't talk like that. We just gotta regroup. Come up with a plan, you know?
You just don't get it. Any of you. Something won't let us leave.
Something? Lara, you need sleep.
Look, I'll be the first to admit that I usually go in for the weird stuff, but this place is off the charts.
I'm not dying here. I'm fixing that boat and we're leaving.
I can't leave him yet. I need time.
You know where we'll be. Come down when you're ready. We won't go anywhere without you.
Lara, now believing that something supernatural truly is preventing people from leaving the island, cooks up going to the ritual chamber. She's hoping that performing the ritual will release the curse and let them leave the island. Though this is exactly what Matthias wanted to do, so I don't know. She tries to radio the crew, who have stepped away, and you'd think these people would learn to stay near Lara. Moving forward, we're met with a section loaded with enemies and wolves. I try to run through this, but quickly get my teeth kicked in. The second time, I take it low and slow, sniping off my enemies. I stop at the campfire before going on to die in front of the wolf cave. Unfortunately, death takes me back to the start of the section rather than the campfire, which feels wrong. The section isn't long, so it's not a big deal, but it's a strange design choice. In the cave, wolves sit snarling in cages, a small puzzle with a hanging deer awaiting. I take out the wolves, they're constantly snarling and it's very annoying, and I kill them just to hear myself think. It's a new day for me in real life, or rather it's actually been a few days since I've last played, so I'm really rusty on the controls. I have to run this section like 5 times, but it's a good warm-up. The puzzle is just rope pulling the deer so it knocks the hanging bar into position, jumping on it, swinging to the pole, and then swinging to a climbable wall. We slide a bit before crawling through the rest of the cave, ending up near Shantytown, my least favorite place. We talk to Alex on the radio, and he asks us to help him down at the beach.
You there, Lara?
Alex, I've been trying to reach you all morning.
We just got to the beach. The boat's in pretty bad shape. Without the right tools, we might have trouble getting it up and running. Could sure use your help down here.
See what you can do. I'm on my way.
Watch yourself out there.
The Literally Who crew is working on restoring a boat, their ticket out. We oblige, scaling high above the shantytown. We hit the gondola, which is soon enveloped by mist. Speaking with Sam, we tell her our suspicion about being unable to leave the island.
Are you there? Alex said that you're on your way down. I should be there soon. I need to tell you something. What's going on? I don't think we can leave this island. Something is keeping us here. I have to go back to the monastery. Are you sure? Yes, Sam. I need you to keep this to yourself for now. I'm going to help Reyes fix that boat, but then I'm taking it inland. Lara, I don't know about this. Just trust me. It's the only way.
As the conversation ends, the gondola stops midair. We use our rope arrows to cross over to the nearby tower. We climb further up, and it's clear a fight is waiting for us at our next stop, which looks to be a strung-up ship. After crossing, we're greeted with a survive the wave section, blasting enemies. This isn't too bad, though due to the boat's angle, dead bodies slide a bit, making me think they're still alive, leaving me mag-dumping into corpses. As the wave ends, a fella hops on the machine gun and fires at will. Lara trips during this, which is funny. He would have totally gotten her IRL, no chance. Instead, he misses, destroying the boat and its supports. Enemies fall off as we try to climb up the now sideways boat. This leads to a rope sliding section, jumping from rope to rope, occasionally sliding and shotgunning debris. At the end, Lara hits out over a waterfall, washing up on a path. Through a crevice, we open a large open area, mostly empty. The writing feels on the wall for this turning into a nasty brawl space, but we'll see. I stop briefly at base camp, spending a skill point. At this point, there's no skills I want, so I just decide to put it into survivalist for the sake. I get 2 documents here, just notes from the Literally Who crew.
Roth, I know you want me to ease off Lara, but I'm hard on her for a reason.
I kill some birds, which nets me an achievement. I also get one for killing a crab, but this makes me feel bad, because the achievement names the crab Fifi, and that humanizes it. This crab is better humanized than most of the Literally Who crew. At the beach, I meet back up with the gang. Not gonna lie, I really wonder how these guys get around. I don't think they're nearly as competent as Lara, and she gets thrown around like a rag doll. They tell us Alex has gone off to find tools to help fix the escape boat. The others try to hoist it up, and Lara offers to help, though she knows they can't leave the island. The rig isn't working, so we're off to find a block and tackle. We run the pier over to another shipwreck. There's a few enemies here, but nothing major. After knocking down a mast, we get our prize. Heading back is expedited, Lara sliding along the ropes, dumped off into the ocean. She's still really dirty after her forced bath, though. Back with the survivors, Whitman runs into camp, claiming to be chased by islanders. Lara dissects his story.
Are you hurt?
I couldn't see anyone. Must have scared them off. Feel like I've run for miles.
And you've barely broken a sweat.
Must be fitter than I thought.
You could have led them straight to us, like you did back at the palace.
What?
That's not how it was, Laura. They caught me while you were getting Sam.
What the hell's this about?
The group notes Alex has been away for too long, and Lara offers to go and find him, earning ire from, what's her name?
Look, he can take care of himself, Lara.
Good. Then we'll be back soon.
Reyes. Earning ire from Reyes for some reason. Her name's Reyes, that's right. Lara, the true Sigma of the group, tells her to shove it, and she's going anyway. Jonah gives Lara a compression bow that he's been saving for her, unlocking the last upgrade for our weapon. With this, we're able to shoot craggy cliffs with rope arrows to make bridges. It still needs a pole to tie the other end to, so this isn't much of a game changer from previous rope bridges. Alex checks in on the radio, and Reyes lets him know we're headed to his location.
Lara is heading your way. You should wait for her.
Lara? No, I got this. I'm heading in. Going radio silent.
Alex, what are you doing?
He says we shouldn't come, and that he's getting into the boat and will be radio silent. Lara doubts his ability, but doesn't respond to anything on the radio. We press on.
What's going on? Get over here!
After hitting a camp, we see our goal off in the distance.
The Endurance. They're tearing it apart.
Shimmying on the sides of a cliff shows off the game's graphics. Climbing up the old building, we're greeted with some enemies at the end of a tunnel. One enemy stands right in the end of it, and you can't shoot while crouched, which makes zero sense. Previously, I found my fully charged arrows could one-hit KO an unaware enemy, but since we got the compact bow, it doesn't seem to be the case. I get through this section, though it devolves into firing at everybody and everything and praying. I even get in some melee strikes, but they're much less effective. The room cleared, I try to do a rope pull, only to find I need a stronger weapon. This really pisses me off. I've rope pulled all over this game, and now suddenly it needs an upgrade. It feels very artificial, and it puts me off. Another section of baiting out the bad guys comes, them throwing explosives at precise angles to flush me out. I get through it just fine before reaching the top of the building. There, we can see the boat in the distance, and another campfire. At the fire is Alex's diary, where he simps for Lara.
I wish I could be more like Lara. She blows me away. Not only is she brilliant, but she's also an amazing ass kicker. If she didn't notice me before, she sure as hell won't now. But maybe I can still do something to get her attention.
Him going off to get the parts as a bid for Lara's attention is actually really funny, considering we've been following after him because we don't believe he can do it on his own. We ride a line over to the boat, landing in some metal pipes. On the deck is a big guy, for you, our final Russian. I guess I take too long thinking how I want to play this because the big guy for you suddenly gets aggro, even though he shouldn't be able to see me. He blocks my arrows with his arms, and I pull out the shotty, going ham. When he's on the ground, I use my pickaxe to do a nasty finisher. Looting the corpse, I get the rope pulley, letting me use rope arrows to move heavy objects. Again, this seems like artificial upgrading. We pull a hoist to crash an object through the deck. Inside, it isn't until Lara says,
"Back here again,"
that I realize that this is her ship. I'm sure it was obvious, no doubt explained by one of the less important crew members. She looks at a picture of her and Sam before looking into a mirror, a reflection of the opening of the game. We take out an enemy before sliding to the other half of the ship, where we take out another. Dropping down into a flooded section, I feel a bit uneasy, but then I remember Lara swam through blood pools, and I feel less put off. We call to Alex, who returns the call. We find our greatest simp, and he's dying. He can't move, and an electrified wire separates us from him. To get to him, we have to do a puzzle moving a crane around. This is annoying, not because it's the Sinnoh Ice Gym puzzle but with a crane, but because we have to use the rope pulley to move the crane, meaning it's button mashing every time you want to take an action moving front or back. Side to side can be done by hopping up on the ladder fragments, which is quicker. After lining the crane up with an opening in the ceiling, we crawl up and kick off a broken pipe. Removing this gives us enough space to swing the crane forward, allowing the hook to catch on the electrified wire. We then pull it back, breaking it. Very contrived.
Oh, Alex. You got the tools.
Finally, I impressed you.
Let's get you out of here.
God!
Oh, sorry.
After meeting with our Discord mod, he gives us 10 subs and the tools he came here for. An enemy siege begins as we meet our sub goal.
I'm not gonna make it out of here, Lara. Take the tools.
Not without you!
How often does a guy like me get to be a hero?
We thank Alex for the greatest dono he can give us, his life, with a kiss on the cheek. Fleeing, we shut the door behind us, and he nukes the chat.
Alex!
The boat then begins to fall apart under us, Lara running for her life. We use the rope pulley to get to a more stable part of the wreckage, the rope breaking just as we land. Lara vows to save the others as we mourn our king. R.I.P. Alex. She really should have just given you a real kiss. We head back to the bunker. At the campfire, we use the rope pulley to smash a hole in the ground. Lara jumps down into the hole. This is all for some reason. I can't think of a logical in-game explanation for her to do this. Luckily, there's a desk at the bottom which has wartime intelligence laid out. It's pointing us towards a tomb that has ties to gaining control over the weather. Needing to know the truth, Lara decides to head back to the survivor camp. We backtrack, and I do the 2 rope pulls I saw earlier. One nets an artifact. The other is the way forward. There's 3 more enemies. I take them out, unlock a new base camp, and then die while trying to zipline. This takes me back to before I killed the enemies, instead of when I unlock the base camp, which again, feels very stupid. I get back to camp, handing over the tools to Reyes. When I tell the crew Alex has died, she snarks,
"Seems anyone caught with you has a pretty low survival rate."
Reyes!
Which is crazy to say when you've contributed literally nothing. Reyes wants to leave at the next high tide, but Lara tells her not to, causing further tension. Sarah and Jonah agree with Lara, who's gone off to the temple mentioned in the intelligence we found earlier. Reyes says she's leaving when the boat is ready, with or without Lara. I don't know why this game is so focused on making Reyes completely unlikable, but it's really working. Our new goal is ascending to the research station. My assessment of this survival camp area seems to have been wrong. I thought a big fight would happen here, but it seems it's more of a hub for the final leg of the game. We try to use a lift, but it breaks. We climb up the shaft, no big deal. After roping over and climbing up another cliff, we find a diary by Whitman. Its placement in the area leans into him working with the cult. We climb up a small water tower and scale towards the gondolas. Personally, I always build my research bases on cliffs. Needing gondolas really seems like the only way to do it. We hop from car to car, using the rope pull to draw them near before landing at the base. We take out some guards, no big deal, but I do wonder how they got here. The place looks pretty boarded up, and they're just on this alcove. Questions aside, we jump over to the cliff. At the top, there's another rope pull and a jump to a ladder leading up. We pass through another turret similar to the bunker before finding a shaft down. We use the climbable wall to break our fall, dropping into water. There isn't much here, but it is atmospheric. We take out 2 guards before moving into an elevator puzzle. We have to raise the elevator and take out the gears with our pry axe to slam it down. This takes me a second, the last gear stumping me for longer than I would like. You have to shoot out wood with a shotgun, and then leap down to the elevator as it rises, jumping through the opening onto a climbable wall. From there, you can access the 4th gear. It slams down, opening access to the 1st floor. On the 1st floor, we find a temple. In the middle is a samurai skeleton, having committed seppuku. Lara believes it to be a general and removes the sword from his corpse, which feels very disrespectful. Inside the sword's hilt, she finds a scroll. The scroll mentions the ritual failed and that the queen's soul was trapped in the decaying body, leading to the storms. Shocked by the discovery, Lara theorizes that she needs to destroy the body in the ritual chamber, the one we hung out with earlier.
To stop the storms, we need to destroy the body in the ritual chamber. How the hell am I going to convince the others?
Before we can get out, we get jumped in the chamber. This really pisses me off because I instinctively moved to the intended way out, but I couldn't actually get up there. After cleaning out the enemies, the way opens up, but I dislike that I had to wait. I head through the cave. There's a slide before a jump and a climb. We get a scenic walk through a tunnel as Lara receives a radio transmission from Reyes, who says they're under attack.
Where the hell are you?
We head back to the boat, finding Reyes shot. Jonah rejoins, saying Whitman has taken Sam to Matthias.
He's taken her back to Matthias.
We should have listened. I should have listened.
So what's the next move?
The boat's fixed now. We should get help.
I bet they thought that too.
Look, you were right about Whitman,
You've
but...
seen the storms. They target any craft that comes near. There were scientists here during World War II, and they believed the storms were controlled by something in a ritual chamber near the monastery. Look, I don't have all the answers, but Sam being taken, I know it's linked. And if we try to leave here without understanding why, then we'll all die. Just like the pilots. Just like Roth.
Lara convinces them not to leave on the boat and says they need to go to the ritual chamber where they are likely taking Sam. Reyes agrees, and they decide to take the now functional boat to an inlet near the chamber.
Lara, what do you expect to find in there?
Do you really want to know?
No, but you should tell me anyway.
There's the soul of an ancient Sun Queen trapped in a dead body. Her rage is what's causing these storms. If we destroy the body, the storms will stop.
Right. And why does Matthias want Sam?
I don't know.
This seems pretty obvious. She passed the trial before, so they believe that she's the next queen. Anyway, she tells the crew to wait at the boat, going up to the monastery. She quickly spots Whitman, Matthias, and Sam. Whitman approaches the storm guard, the samurai Oni from earlier, trying to introduce Sam as their new queen at the behest of Matthias. This is obviously a trick, as Matthias keeps hidden, leading the guard to just kill Whitman. As they do, the cult leader runs himself and Sam across the bridge into the monastery. The wind sweeps behind them, preventing the guards from getting them, destroying the bridge. Lara calls out to her friend, Fruitless. We slide across the chasm and climb up, entering. We watch a few samurai pass and take one out. Through a short tunnel, we hit a sneak section. Samurai are walking about the chamber. At first, I thought I had to fight them, but I got insta-killed. Second go, I made it across a wooden beam. I guess it's hard to look up with those helmets on. We climb across a ledge, the shot showing a large warrior getting his armor put on. It's a really cool scene, the menace below coupled with the warriors ringing the bell in ceremony above us. As we get to the opening out of the room, we're heard by the big boy. As we scramble, fire arrows rain at us, and we flee down the hall. This transitions to a brief slide into the bottom of an outdoor crevice. Ancient enemies come at us, but because they use melee weapons and the spacing is linear, it's an easy fight. I pause at the fire, unlocking the final survivalist skill. This earns me an achievement, which is nice, but it's a shame the skills are so lackluster in this game. We continue on into a brief cave before opening a door into the wind zone. Here, we can see Matthias and Sam walking on a far-off platform. I try to hit them, but the wind eats my shots. Going forward, we get a shot of the big boy coming out, surrounded by his army. We muscle our way forward into the arena, taking out everyone we can. There's a lot of them, but it feels much less irritating than other sections like this. There's a lot of ammo around, a lot of explosives to hit. There's a tower here I try to blow up with grenades, but it doesn't work. Instead, I have to hit the explosives already in it for it to blow. Either way, it was a fun combat exercise. At the end, I come face to face with Big Boy, ready to show down. He comes at Lara, but she sees debris coming, ducking down. The wind carries him away. This was very disappointing. Out of all the fights, this is the one I actually was looking forward to, and it didn't even happen. It feels like a serious letdown. We go on into the shrine. Inside, we're greeted with a puzzle, and it's not very interesting. We've got to open a grate, raise a pendulum, rope pull it to bash it into a wall, close the grate, lower the pendulum, rope pull it again, and ride it into the next chamber. In the next room, we see statues of the previous queens, and as she looks upon them, Lara puts the pieces together.
The fire ritual where the queen chooses her successor. A chosen priestess enters the monastery, and she's given your power and becomes the new queen. Wait a minute.
Many have given up their souls willingly for this gift.
Now the first and last queen lives a half-life, a soul in a decaying body.
Vessels. It's not transferring power, it's transferring a soul. All these queens, they're all you, Himiko.
The queen is one over many bodies, transferring her soul. This seemed already kind of obvious. Defiant, Lara tells the spirit of the queen that she won't have Sam. We hit the next campfire, marked as a point of no return. It's clear we've hit the final stretch. We open the door forward. In the open air, we see the ziggurat stretching up to the sky, snow whistling around. It's a beautiful sight and it captures the climax well. We walk across a bridge, pushed by the wind. We come to Matthias, who holds Sam hostage. We warn him of the dangers of Himiko, but he won't listen.
Why are you doing this, Matthias?
Do you think that you're the hero, Lara? Everything I've done, I did to survive. How many lives have you taken to do the same? There are no heroes here. Only survivors.
He tells us there are no good guys in this story, and that it's all about survival. After calling us out as a murderer, he vanishes. We begin our ascent. The aesthetics of this area are really nice, the decaying wood and snow balancing. We move about, smashing a bell through a door. Sometimes structures will fall, forcing us to find another way forward, but it all feels intuitive enough. At the top of one of the structures, Reyes radios to say that they were unable to hold off the Oni, and we watch as they run across the bridge.
Lara, watch out! Those bastards are heading your way. We did everything we could to slow them down.
Thanks, Reyes. Get to the boat. If I'm not back...
We're not leaving without you. We'll be waiting.
Jumping around further, we latch to a section of mountain moments after thunder destroys it. Scaling down, we reach a cave with a campfire. The cave leads out to a scaling section. We reach the altar of the ziggurat just in time to catch Matthias enacting a ritual to bring the long-dead queen back to life.
Great Queen, through the trials, I have brought you the vessel. Pour forth and return to this mortal toil. Pour forth and be reborn. Pour forth and awaken.
Sam begins screaming as the statue of the queen before her glows blue. Lara attempts to shoot an arrow at this, but it ricochets. We head towards her only to be met with cultists. This is fine, but something that really bugs me here is the finishing moves. When you get an enemy close to dead, an icon appears and you can do a finisher. For the second half of the game, almost every enemy I've tried to do a finisher on has survived. I've died a few times due to this. Both of us low on health, I think I'll knock the guy dead, only for him to survive and kill me. It feels like a scam, and it makes me not want to engage with the mechanics. Anyway, after stomping them, we jump across another crevice. On the other side, we watch as Big Boy reappears, taking out two cultists. His prey dead, he turns to us, and we get the fight I was looking for. He's melee only, so the name of the game is just blasting him while dodging, which is easy. The finishers I talked about proc, and it's clear it's required here, so I do it. It doesn't kill him, of course. Other enemies come to join the fight, low-key dishonorable for a duel, but whatever. I missed one of the buttons during a proc, which is funny, Lara flopping around. In the end, though, Lara finishes him brutally. Head hooked, I leave his corpse, though I do loot it, of course. At the statue, we try to set Sam free, but Matthias comes at us. It's a series of quick-time events, us trying to fend him off. After pumping lead into him, he falls off the mountain. Enemies defeated, Lara goes to the statue, burning it. Sam freed, Lara holds her friend as a god ray shines on the two of them. From the boat, Reyes and Jonah watch as the storm leaves the island. Lara and Sam limp back to the boat. No one goes to help her carry Sam. Reunited, Lara tells the crew to set sail. In narration, Lara recalls her father and feels sorry for dismissing him after what she's now experienced.
For years, I resented my father, doubted him like the rest. But he was right about so much. I just wish I could tell him that now. There are so many mysteries that I once dismissed as mere stories, but the line between our myths and truth is fragile and blurry. I need to find answers. I must understand.
She seeks understanding, no doubt setting up future games. Picked up on a barge, Lara looks through her journal with a map, saying she's not going home. A survivor is born flashes on screen, low-key cringe. There's a note from the dev team thanking the player for completing the game, which is wholesome. The credits have black and white photos of the staff, which I've never seen before, and I find strange. It's a nice concept, like look at all these great people who work so hard, but it's also very off-putting at the same time, like someone forcing you to look through a yearbook for a school you didn't go to. Also, it's only for some groups of people. I guess the people in operations didn't deserve to have their pictures taken, but QA does? I don't know. In the end, I completed the story with 64% game completion. The rest, I have no doubt, is just optional tombs and collectibles. It's been a long ride, but let's get into the gameplay. As I said earlier, the first half of this game felt more akin to a long tutorial. Lara can move, jump, climb, swing, crawl, fire, start. It's your classic adventurer's moveset. Coupled with a bow and a few guns, a trusty rope, and you've got a full package. She even parachutes at one point. Aside from the very beginning, when I remarked that she should have just climbed over that cage with the torch, I never felt like anything was beyond Lara's ability. That's kind of the whole theme of the game, so it would be embarrassing otherwise. She does feel superhuman, often surviving things nobody else reasonably would, but at its core, it is a game. We'll label the trinity of content here combat, puzzle, and platforming. Combat is what it says on the tin, mostly shooting dudes, getting shot by dudes, exploding dudes. The weapons are fine, but I had my preferences. Note, each can be upgraded and refined with salvage, but their core function retains. The bow is best for long range and best overall. The fire arrows gained post-lighter is a nice touch. It lets you adapt the bow situationally. Normal for stealth, fire for damage. It's the most practical to keep out as well, being used for the rope arrows. Rope arrows can create or clear paths forward, as well as pull objects and enemies. The one downside is the final upgrade, the compact bow, didn't feel as powerful as its predecessors. The shotgun was my favorite for close combat. It packs a solid punch and the reload time can be improved, but finding ammo for it was harder than the copious amounts of arrows lying around. In platforming, it can be used to break debris, mostly during sliding sections. Next is the rifle, which I found had too much spray for my liking. I also feel that way about some of the Fortnite rifles though, so, I kept this pretty benched unless a mob was after me. The rifle gives access to the grenade launcher in the second half of the game, which is also only best used in mob situations. Grenades can also be used to remove blockades. Last is the pistol. It's the first gun you get, and it's fine in emergency, but it just didn't hit with me. I really only used it in place of other things if I didn't want to waste my other ammo types. It's not a bad weapon, and honestly it's more consistent than the rifle, but while it doesn't have the low of the rifle, it doesn't have the high either. The climbing axe can be used as a melee weapon, but aside from one instance noted earlier, I never did this in normal combat. It does appear in the finisher though. It is easily the worst weapon. The puzzles in this game are okay, mostly a mixture of turn this, rope arrow this, set that on fire. They're not groundbreaking or interesting. They feel like obstacles, which that they are, but I feel like a good puzzle should disguise that. It should be something you want to solve regardless of if it was in the way or not. There's notably no mental focused puzzle. That is, all the puzzles are physical and solved with physicality. I would have liked to see Lara try and decipher a book. The puzzles are easily the weakest section of the game, and I think that's acceptable if not a little disappointing. Nothing is ever going to hit every area perfectly, and it's clear this game wanted to value cinematic experience. Being stuck on a long puzzle trying to decipher a situation just doesn't fit that vision. Our third pillar, platforming, is the star of the show. Lara's adventure is meant to feel as gritty and real as it can within the bounds of what it needs to achieve. This means a lot of walking, scaling, jumping, swimming, you get the gist. Lara works out methods of locomotion as she shuffles from one section of the island to another. And honestly, it does work. It's fleshed out enough to stand alone and malleable enough to work in conjunction with the other two aspects. The platforming isn't difficult. I would say combat gave me the most issues, but it's attuned to keep attention without feeling overly repetitive. You'll walk a million steps and you'll climb a million ledges, but it won't hurt. And that's not an easy thing to pull off. The perks I've mentioned throughout this apply to two of our pillars, combat and platforming. No perk will help you with puzzles, which is understandable. The most useful perks are for finding more ammo or more scrap, which again let you upgrade weapons. The rest are terrible, like lackluster melee moves or climbing slightly faster. The level design felt sufficient for the most part. Very linear, but this is a story-driven experience at its heart. You're rarely at a loss for where to go. If anything, the biggest issue is not realizing when you're not supposed to go anywhere. A few times I would be in a defeat the wave of enemies section, not realizing I was supposed to stay put. At its best, the game falls into a flow state, the player moving through organically and with ease. The best example of this being the final ziggurat section or the burning palace section before finding Sam. You can tell the developers put a lot of time into these sections. They really felt like the stars of the show. At its mid, it's meandering and a touch random, covering crates where they really shouldn't be, a wolf cave with one wolf, inexplicable enemy spawning, going through buildings no one in their right mind would, a flammable tank nearby when you need to set a fire. Again, this is a game and a story-driven one, so some things just need to be where they are, and some actions just need to be taken even if they're psychotic, so I can't be too hard here. The game has optional temples, but I only did one, the Tomb of the Lost Adventurer. It played around with the fire mechanic, so I wouldn't be surprised if others also focused around gimmicks. At its worst, it was the shantytown section. It had the worst design, that fireball-inducing crank just complete bullshit. The enemy dump, the terrible navigation, the resource placement. If I hadn't been playing this game for the channel, I honestly would have quit there and had no hard feelings about it. All sections after the shantytown feel better simply by virtue of not being the shantytown. It does make me wonder if I would have been less favorable to the ending sections had I not had to deal with it. It kind of feels like it purposely was a low to make the ends shine a bit more. Speaking of shining, the aesthetics do just that. Everything looks dirty and tattered, though in a movie manicured way, rather than a homeless way. The graphics look good over a decade later, and Lara looks more like a real person than ever, though how you feel about that is on you. The other character models look fine too, though it's clear much more attention was paid to Lara's model than anyone else's. I'm sure this is even more apparent if you use her alternate outfits, which again, I didn't due to poor UI. The artifact objects, hidden collectibles scattered around the map, look well modeled. I can't speak for their accuracy to their real-life counterparts, but they look on par with my expectation of archaeological finds. They also come with a passage, Lara telling us briefly about what we found, tying it together. The voice acting is good sometimes, other times not very good. Lara herself does fine, but the crew can be pretty hit or miss with delivery, especially Sam. Some of the documents are read with a strange cadence, reminding me of how the Oblivion voice actors read their lines alphabetically. If the voice acting makes me think of Oblivion in any way, we might be in trouble. The environment is very well done. There was never a point where an aesthetic choice felt out of place or where my eye was drawn to something it ought not to have been. That is, aside from the graffiti, which is obviously a font. I wonder if this was done to localize it in other languages. If so, it's an understandable sacrifice. The aesthetics are a main selling point here, so I'm not surprised so much work went into them. I feel like this came out at the height of the cinematic video game phase, and it really shows. I'm not going to hit through the story again, but it does feel disjointed. Magic Storm Island is real? Yes. Trapped stranded dudes make a cult? Yes. These are pretty solid, forming both an antagonistic army and giving Lara a motivation, leaving. But the entire middle section feels like a weird drudge. They have Sam, we want her back, but we also do anything anybody asks of us, even though nobody ever helps us. When we're about to die, the Oni samurai back us up, but they're also antagonistic, though they spare us for some reason. The Storm Queen is omnipotent enough to keep anybody from leaving. Surely she knows Lara is gunning for her. Why not just electrocute her? When we get Sam back, we leave her with the crew, who've been shown to be unable to defend themselves, much less her. It's all just a lot of back and forth, and it feels unwarranted. Other things just feel stupid, like getting robbed by a wolf. Lara is okay as a character, but feels inconsistent. Early on, she's afraid and unsure, but she's never realistic feeling. Weirdly, she feels more believable the more hardened she gets. A young woman forced to shut down and act to survive. She's capable, yes, but she never seems willing to address how big of a burden everybody else is around her. The story pushes the guilt Lara feels over being the driving force of the expedition, but it's more told than shown. The supporting characters aren't great either, mostly being static cutouts. Roth is the guiding hand, Whitman is the egotistical nerd. Sarah is the damsel in distress. Reyes is the hater who comes around. Jonah is the delegator of the group. Alex is the unrequited lover. Grimm is the old sea dog. 3 of these people, Roth, Grimm, and Alex, expire as an act of devotion to Lara. Roth was notable before dying. Grimm was unremarkable even after dying. But interestingly, it does move the needle for Alex. While it pushes him out of the Literally Who crew, it also pushes him into the grave. For our villains, we've got Matthias, your classic crazed cult leader seeking a goal at the expense of everybody around him. His motives are fine, he wants to go home, understandable. We've got Himiko, more felt but not seen, a major lore point, acceptable. Maybe we've got the Russians if you want to count them, Vladimir being the most notable, though they're not very notable. Matthias and Himiko at least both have very obvious motives, survival. While the good guys also allegedly want this, sometimes it really doesn't feel like they do. I forgot about Whitman, and I think that sums that up. There are journals and documents to add to the story, but I didn't find myself getting into the story enough to want to experience all of them. It felt akin to reading books in Skyrim. Every once in a while when the moon strikes is fine. The music was fine, nothing standing out. I always think that's a good thing. Too much can drown out other elements, too little can break immersion. It's very in line with an action movie score, a traditional Japanese overtone popping up here and there to reflect with the narrative. Similarly, the sound design also drew no real attention, meaning it was done well. Overall, I would give this game a 5 out of 10. The ocean around the island may be deep, but the game is shallow. Lackluster puzzles, unrefined combat, unmemorable characters plague this visually enjoyable ride. While the ending is more engaging, the beginning feels like a very long tutorial, and the middle is a slog through poor choices. The Japanese influence felt more like an excuse to use samurai rather than actually important to the plot, but then again, most things presented feel unimportant. A lot of character action is nonsensical to drive the plot forward, and if you're paying attention, the accessory information isn't really needed. There are optional tombs, but the storyline is fueled by agency, breaking immersion when one is explored. Looking at the Xbox achievement data, the highest earn rate is for completing an optional tomb, which is 41%. This doesn't make for a great baseline, being optional, but the game's achievements are for achieving, rather than being handed out to the player at story points like many games do. 26% of gamers completed the game. While we can't extrapolate from the limited data where in the narrative players dropped off, I'd call that a pretty good rate for being a decade-old game and currently on Game Pass. There are achievements for multiplayer, the highest rate being 5%, but I don't know how long the multiplayer community was active for, leaving me unable to draw real conclusions, aside from it being much less popular than the story mode. Again, I didn't explore the multiplayer option. I doubt it would have influenced my opinion. While the theme of survival creating shades of gray is presented, sometimes flat out in the dialogue, it isn't really explored. After her initial kill, Lara never hesitates and never looks back. Her heart has hardened, and while she wants to save everyone she can, everyone is a short list, and you're more likely at the barrel end of her gun than on it. Seems pretty black and white to me. Anyway, don't forget to look sexy while surviving, and I'll see you next time.
Lara, are you there?